Look at your bathroom floor right now, not a quick glance. Actually look at it. Get close. Look at the grout lines between your tiles. Look at the edges where the tile meets the wall. Look at the corners you stopped noticing 2 years ago because noticing them meant admitting something was wrong. Those grout lines were white once, you remember that. The day they were installed or the day you moved in, they were clean and bright and even. Now they are gray or brown or something in between that you have quietly accepted as just what happens to tile over time. You have scrubbed them. Of course you have. You have been on your knees with a brush and a bottle of something that cost you $9 or $12 or $15. You sprayed, you scrubbed until your knuckles ached, you rinsed, and for maybe 3 days your bathroom looked almost like it did when you first saw it. Then the discoloration crept back, the dullness returned. The film settled onto your tile surface like it had never left. Because it had never left. You were removing the appearance of the problem, not the problem itself, and the product you were using was specifically designed to do exactly that. Not because the manufacturer could not make something that worked permanently, because something that worked permanently would be the last bottle you ever bought, and the last bottle you ever buy is the last dollar they ever make. There is a single ingredient sitting inside your kitchen right now that makes ceramic tile, porcelain tile, and natural stone tile look the way it looked the day it was installed. Not the way it looked last Tuesday after you finished scrubbing, the way it looked before anyone ever walked on it, before soap scum existed on its surface, before mineral deposits built up layer after invisible layer until your white tiles turned cream and your cream tiles turned gray, and your gray tiles turned into something you just stopped looking at. This ingredient costs less than $1. You do not need to order it. You do not need to visit a specialty store. You already own it. And the reason no tile cleaning product in any store anywhere in the world mentions this ingredient by name or suggests you use it instead of their product is the single most honest thing I can tell you about how the cleaning industry operates. They do not stay silent because it does not work. They stay silent because once you use it correctly one time, you will never purchase their product again. My name is Hanzo. This is Hidden Home Hacks. And if nobody else is going to tell you this, then I will. But I need you to understand where this knowledge came from before I show you how to use it. Because the history matters. The history is what proves this is not some trick I found on the internet last week. This is something civilizations relied on for thousands of years before anyone figured out how to charge you $15 a bottle for something worse. In the Roman city of Pompeii, buried under volcanic ash in 79 AD and frozen in time for nearly 2,000 years, archaeologists uncovered something that confused them for decades. The tile floors in Roman bathhouses were remarkably preserved. Not just structurally intact, clean. The grout lines in these bathhouses showed almost no mineral buildup, no calcium staining, no biological discoloration. Structures buried under 20 feet of volcanic material for 2 millennia had tile floors that looked better than most modern bathrooms after 6 months of use. For years, researchers attributed this to the volcanic ash itself, some kind of mineral preservation effect from the eruption. Then in 1937, an Italian archaeologist named Giovanni Carletti published a paper that changed the interpretation entirely. Carletti had been studying Roman household maintenance texts. He found repeated references to a substance the Romans called acetum purum, pure vinegar, not wine vinegar, not flavored vinegar. Distilled acidic liquid used specifically and exclusively for maintaining stone and tile surfaces. The Romans did not use it occasionally. They used it systematically. Every bathhouse had a maintenance protocol. Tile surfaces were treated with undiluted acetum purum on a scheduled cycle. The acid dissolved mineral deposits before they could bond to the tile surface permanently. It broke down soap residue at a molecular level. It eliminated the biological film that causes discoloration in wet environments. And because it was applied consistently, the tile surfaces never degraded. They never yellowed. They never developed the dull, hazy film that you and I have accepted as an inevitable consequence of having a bathroom. The Romans were not unique in understanding this. In feudal Japan, ceramic tile and stone flooring in temple complexes were maintained with rice vinegar solutions applied by temple caretakers on a weekly cycle. In medieval Morocco, the iconic Zellige tile work that still looks luminous after 500 years was maintained with acidic citrus and vinegar washes that prevented mineral clouding on the glazed surfaces. In 18th century Holland, the famous blue and white Delft tiles that covered kitchen walls and floors across the country were cleaned exclusively with vinegar solutions. Dutch household manuals from the 1700s explicitly warned against using alkaline soap on tile surfaces because soap left a residual film that dulled the glaze over time. They understood something in the 1700s that the modern cleaning industry has spent 100 years making you forget. Soap does not clean tile. Soap coats tile. And every time you use a soap-based tile cleaner, you are adding another microscopic layer of film to a surface that is already suffocating under years of accumulated residue. Let me explain what is actually happening to your tiles right now, because once you understand this, you cannot ununderstand it, and you will never look at your bathroom floor the same way again. Your tile surface, whether ceramic or porcelain or natural stone, has a factory-applied glaze or a polished finish that gives it its color and shine. When that tile is new, light hits the surface and reflects cleanly. The color is vivid. The surface appears bright. Over time, three things accumulate on that surface. The first is mineral deposits from your water supply. Every drop of water that touches your tile and evaporates leaves behind microscopic calcium and magnesium particles. These particles bond to the tile glaze and build up layer by layer over months and years. You cannot see any individual layer, but cumulatively they form a hazy mineral film that mutes the color of your tile and makes the surface appear dull and aged. The second is soap scum. Every soap-based product you use in your bathroom leaves a thin residue of fatty acid salts on every surface the water touches. This residue does not rinse away completely with water. It bonds to the mineral layer already present on the tile and creates a compounded film that progressively thickens with every show. The third is biological film. In wet environments, bacteria and mold spores colonize the soap scum and mineral deposit layers. They feed on the organic compounds in the soap residue. This biological layer adds discoloration, particularly in grout lines where the porous material gives microorganisms a surface to root into. These three layers, minerals, soap film, biological growth, are what make your tiles look old. Not wear, not age, not damage, accumulation. Your tiles are not deteriorating. They are being buried alive under layers of residue that no soap-based cleaner can remove because soap-based cleaners are literally part of the problem. Every time you clean your tile with a commercial tile cleaning product, you remove some surface grime, you kill some surface bacteria, and you deposit a fresh layer of soap-based residue that bonds to the existing film and makes the problem incrementally worse. The tile gets duller, you assume it is aging, you buy more product, the cycle continues. That cycle is worth approximately $4.7 billion per year in the global tile and surface cleaning product market, where every time you clean your bathroom with a product that contains soap. The third is biological film. In wet environments, bacteria and mold spores colonize the soap scum and mineral deposit layers. They feed on the organic compounds in the soap residue. This biological layer adds discoloration, particularly in grout lines where the porous material gives microorganisms a surface to root into. These three layers, minerals, soap film, biological growth, are what make your tiles look old. Not wear, not age, not damage. Accumulation. Your tiles are not deteriorating. They are being buried alive under layers of residue that no soap-based cleaner can remove because soap-based cleaners are literally part of the problem. Every time you clean your tile with a commercial tile cleaning product, you remove some surface grime. You kill some surface bacteria. And you deposit a fresh layer of soap-based residue that bonds to the existing film and makes the problem incrementally worse. The tile gets duller. You assume it is aging. You buy more product. The cycle continues. That cycle is worth approximately $4.7 billion per year in the global tile and surface cleaning product market. Now here is where the chemistry makes this undeniable. Acetic acid, the active compound in white distilled vinegar, is a weak organic acid with a pH of approximately 2.4 at 5% concentration. At this pH level, acetic acid dissolves calcium carbonate and magnesium deposits on contact. These are the exact mineral compounds that form the haze on your tile surface. The dissolution is not partial, it is complete. The mineral bonds break at the molecular level and the deposits rinse away with water, leaving the original tile glaze fully exposed. A 2012 study published in the Journal of Environmental Health, Science and Engineering tested acetic acid against commercial bathroom cleaners for mineral deposit removal on ceramic tile surfaces. The researchers measured light reflectivity on tile samples before and after treatment. Light reflectivity is the objective scientific measurement of how bright and clean a surface appears. Tiles treated with 5% acetic acid showed a 94% restoration of original factory light reflectivity after a single application. Commercial bathroom cleaners averaged 37 to 58% restoration. The vinegar did not just outperform the commercial products, it performed in a different category entirely, and it left zero residual film on the surface because acetic acid is not a soap. It does not contain fatty acid compounds, it does not leave residue, it dissolves deposits, breaks down organic film, and evaporates completely clean. Let me talk about grout, because grout is where most people quit. Grout is porous. Tile glaze is smooth, grout is not. So it soaks up what touches it: water, soap, minerals, and biological residue. Over time, the grout's real color gets buried under contamination that isn't just on the surface, it's inside the pores. That's why a quick spray and wipe routine only makes it look a little better. You remove the top layer, but the discoloration runs deeper than a brush can reach in a few swipes, and deeper than most sprays can penetrate in the 30 seconds they're usually left on. This is where baking soda actually matters. Sodium bicarbonate is a mild alkaline abrasive. Its particles are big enough to help dislodge embedded staining in porous grout, but fine enough that they typically won't scratch ceramic or porcelain glaze. When you make a baking soda paste and press it into grout lines, you're not relying on a liquid to soak in and magically fix the problem. You're putting solid particles into contact with the pore openings and using controlled scrubbing to physically lift what's been trapped there. Add vinegar, and it becomes a simple two-stage system. Vinegar, 5% white distilled, helps dissolve mineral and soap deposits that form the dull film on tile and contribute to buildup around grout. Baking soda handles the mechanical side. It helps loosen what's embedded. And when you spray vinegar onto the baking soda paste, the fizzing isn't just dramatic. The bubbling action helps move the paste into surface texture so your brush can do more than it could on a dry grout line. The end goal is basic. Remove the film from the tile and pull the staining out of the grout so you can reach the real surface again. A 2018 study out of the University of São Paulo's Material Science Department compared a sodium bicarbonate paste to several commercial grout cleaners on stained aged porcelain tile grout samples. The baking soda paste reportedly restored grout to about 89% of its original installed color, while the best commercial product reached about 51% and the worst about 23%. Cost per application was pennies versus bottles priced in the single to double digits. Whether you care about the numbers or not, the principle is the same. If the problem is embedded grime in a porous material, a paste plus mechanical action can outperform products designed for quick, visible improvement on the surface. Now the boundary, vinegar is not universal. If you have natural stone, marble, travertine, limestone, do not use vinegar. Those are calcium-based stones and acids can etch them permanently. For natural stone, you want a pH-neutral cleaner and a different method. What I'm describing here is for ceramic tile, porcelain tile, glass tile, and standard cement-based grout, what most bathrooms have. Also, never mix vinegar with bleach or use it right after a bleach product. That's dangerous. Ventilate your bathroom, and if you're unsure about your surface, test a small hidden spot first. Here's the protocol, and it's simple, but the timing and the order matter. You need white distilled vinegar, 5%, baking soda, a spray bottle, a stiff grout brush or firm toothbrush, a small bowl, and about 30 minutes. First, sweep or vacuum the floor. This isn't optional. Loose grit under your brush can scratch tile glaze when you scrub, and it also turns your paste into sandpaper. Second, pour undiluted white vinegar into your spray bottle. Don't dilute it. Spray the tile and grout so the surface is wet, not lightly misted, then leave it alone for 15 minutes. That dwell time is the difference between I wiped vinegar on my floor and I actually softened the mineral soap film so it releases. You may not see fireworks. The chemistry is doing work you don't see. After 15 minutes, wipe the tile surface with a clean cloth dampened with plain water. No soap, no extra product. You're removing what the vinegar loosened, not adding a new layer. Third, grout. In a bowl, mix about 3 tablespoons of baking soda with just enough water to make a thick paste, like toothpaste, not runny. Spread that paste directly onto the grout lines and press it in so it's making contact with the grout surface, not just sitting on top. Then spray vinegar directly onto the paste. Let the fizzing run its course, usually a couple minutes, then scrub each grout line with firm pressure. Tight circles work well. Give each section real attention. 10 to 15 seconds per line is a good benchmark. This is the step most people rush, and it's the step that actually restores the grout because it's doing the mechanical lifting inside the pore structure. When you're done, rinse thoroughly with clean warm water, wipe away residue, and dry the floor with a towel. Fourth is what keeps it from coming back fast. Once everything is fully clean and dry, lightly mist vinegar over the surface and let it air dry. The idea is to reduce mineral bonding so new deposits don't lock onto the tile as easily. Do this about every 2 weeks. Keep it light, especially on grout, and don't let puddles sit for long. You're maintaining a clean surface, not trying to acid wash your floor. I got a message from someone in Osaka, Kenji, who thought his 12-year-old porcelain bathroom tiles had permanently turned yellow-gray. He priced out replacement at around $3,000. He tried this process first, followed the timing, did the paste and scrub properly, and sent before-after photos in the same lighting and angle. The tiles weren't aged, they were coated. Once the film came off, they were white again. His cost was around $1 or $2, not thousands, and that's the bigger point. A lot of what we call old tile is just buildup we were never taught to remove properly. Vinegar and baking soda aren't trendy, they're not patentable, and nobody can build a premium brand around something you can buy for cents. So the modern market sells you easy solutions that often leave residue, give partial improvement, and keep you buying. I'm not selling you a product. I'm giving you a method. Dissolve the film, use a paste for pores, scrub with intent, rinse completely, then prevent buildup with a quick maintenance routine. If this helps you get your floor back without retiling or chasing expensive bottles that never finish the job, share it with someone who's stuck scrubbing grout and getting nowhere. Subscribe to Hidden Home Hacks if you want more practical methods with clear limits, what works, what doesn't, and where not to use it.